Hello and welcome. This is Wise Woman Television with Errity Green, and today I am bringing you a pick a card reading on your role in the year of 2020. This feels big, this feels purposeful, this feels powerful, so I sure hope you will stick around to see what reading is in store for you. So I first encourage you to like and subscribe. Liking ensures other people see this video, and subscribing ensures your own commitment to yourself. So I will first put up the choice of the three piles 1, 2, and 3. And we will get started. We will get started with pile 1. So pile 1, your role in 2020 is you are bringing forward something new. So there is something new and profound. This could be at your individual life level, in your home and family, but this also feels relevant in a bigger way. Like we're talking neighborhoods, communities, global scale. You're bringing through new codes, we could say, new paradigms, new thoughts. You're like laying the template for a new reality, for a new planet, for a new earth, sort of like this new template for what we're stepping into for the next phase and chapter of humanity. So you are bringing forth this framework. Now, it doesn't mean that you even know or have this huge vision globally for what that's supposed to look like, although some of you very well might. What this means is in your own life, you have your own set of individual codes or a template or framework that's coming through in your own life that you're also able to share, whether directly or indirectly. So people are watching you, your family, loved ones, neighbors, your community. I also feel like for many of you, you are a truth speaker of some kind, a truth teller. So you share this vision, and whether you share about it being a big vision or you're just sharing your ideas and insights and inspirations, you are the carrier of a new age, the carrier of a new world. And the more you go out there and share this in whatever self-expression lands for you in whatever way resonates for you, the more you're going to bring about this change, this shift that you were born to help co-create. There are others who will join you. Now, you may not interlock arms and do this together, but there are people very much standing alongside you who have also been born, again, with these codes or with these frameworks and paradigms that are also bringing it forth through their own lives, through their own embodiment, even through their own work, their purpose path. So there are people rallying around and behind you, whether or not they are visible in your reality or you are connected with a more conscious or connected community. They are a part of this vision, and you are the bringer of a new earth, of a new age, whatever that means for you, because not only is this a general reading, but you know your unique way. And that's what this reading is giving voice to, is that you are the carrier of something new and you are bringing it through in the year of 2020. That's your role. So it's something that you are already aware of. Okay, so how has your past, how has your life prepared you for this? So you've been through some things, we'll say. We could say through some difficulty. Now, this doesn't feel like immense, intense difficulty. Some of you very well may have been through that. This energy isn't like really deep and dark. This is really just you have been cleared of a lot of old paradigms within yourself, old victimhood, old agreements to powerlessness or helplessness, things like fear, self-doubt, kind of, I don't want to say simple and standard issue human condition paradigms, thought forms, but that is the nature of being human. And so you have been prepared in your lifetime through having to face and encounter some of this stuff so that you could clear that out of the way and make it irrelevant. So it doesn't mean that you are like invincible, although we all truly are, and that you won't experience these things. It just means it has no power over you. So if you have learned to clear out the darkness, clear out the past, you've had to clear some old conditioning, old wounds, old hurts, old baggage, so you could fully step into this power and this newness. So what I'm also getting here is this vision is likely different from your family of origin or where you came from. So for many of you, or for some of you, you are, by stepping into this new vision, you are leaving familial patterns behind. You are leaving generational programming behind. So whether that is everyone's been a doctor and a lawyer in your family, or everyone's been a blue collar worker, or whatever it is. And those are actually really kind of superficial or easy examples to pull from. I imagine you know what I mean when I say you're different from your family and you're bringing forth something new, but that's not something you stand for. You're doing something else. So you're sort of stepping outside of the box. And so not only have you done this in your family, right? And part of the clearing then was recognizing you may not always belong. People may not always agree with you. People may not always approve of you, what you have to say, what you have to do, what you are here to do. You are a pioneer, you are a trailblazer. Not everyone is going to understand, perhaps not even your family, although most families on here do feel relatively accepting, like you guys have already been through that, and that's what I'm saying. Like you've been prepared for this already, and you're kind of used to having to face the discomfort of adversity or disagreement or people not understanding you. So you're not going to encounter as much discomfort as someone else who might be new to this, right? So your role in 2020 is you can hold it down, like no problem. Been there, done that. You've heard the naysayers and the haters before. If there is any, you can't even bother with the noise on a collective level or some of the chaos and dysfunction, like not even relevant for you. You're here to bring in something new, and all of that is just noise. So you've been prepared for this, which is really powerful. So what you need to do and how are you actually going to bring this forth, you already know. So this pile 1, it's turning the arrow right back to you. It's saying you already know what you need to do. So this means that it's very individual to each and every one of you, and or oftentimes spirit, God, cosmos, great spirit, whatever you call it, whatever your version of higher power or higher self is. Things often don't come through unless they have to, right? And so it's turning the arrow right back to you and saying, you already know what you need to do. So this feels like things that are already underway, are already in place. These are things, or even active changes that you've been making in your life already up until this point. And 2020 is sort of like you're already halfway through the journey. So you're like, shoot, I've been doing this for a while. For some of us, that could be like starting your garden or homesteading or doing things that are a little bit more unconventional or alternative. Not all of you will resonate with that. However, each of you know exactly what it is, because that's what this is affirming for you. You already know, which means you're already on the beginning of it, in the middle of it. For me, the energy feels like you've already been doing this for a while. So many of you, that could be months or years, but you're very much on the path is the point here. And you already know. And really this reading for you then, pile 1, is affirming this is your role in 2020. You are the carrier of the new. You are the pioneer of a new era. You are a trailblazer. Your life has prepared you to deal with any kind of adversity that may come through this experience of 2020, whether it be through other people or even maybe some changes in our lifestyles around the world, and you're ready for it because you've already been preparing for this. You've been thinking about it and making active changes in your life. So this will not be a dramatic upset like it is perhaps for other people. So good for you. So something else here, the advice here is, so we talked earlier about you are sort of unfazed, unmoved by all the collective reality and noise that's happening at a collective or global level, the news and hysteria and mainstream media and stuff like that. And this is saying that you continue to stand there in your sort of unmovability. Emotions are running high. They may continue to run high. It may be difficult for you at times to separate yourself from that. I don't feel that energy. I actually feel like you are pretty solid at not swaying or being persuaded or otherwise discouraged by all the things that are happening. But this is a reminder and even an affirmation, an acknowledgement of, yes, you're there, and or continue to stay there. Like, good work, continue the good work. Do not let people, or do not let the fear or the hysteria or any of the chaos or noise, don't let it affect you or your work or your walk in the world. And it feels like you won't be moved, but at times it could get to you. Sometimes you're more vulnerable than others, and that's natural. We're all human beings and we're all affecting each other or interdependent to a degree. Some of us codependent even, right? And working through that always is works in progress. And so here, this is just a reminder to stay on track. Don't let the noise get to you because you're already carving your path. You've already made active changes. You're taking active steps. Keep the focus on your own path, your own reality, and on your very present moment. And nothing can rock you and nothing will rock you. Now, the outcome is that this is a divine blessing. This is a divine gift. I actually feel like you are ahead of the curve in some way. I feel like you've been given a gift, and that just by being yourself and knowing yourself and doing things you would already do anyway, you are ahead of most people when it comes to the year of 2020 and the changes that are to come, because especially through this reading, it's sounding like there are some significant changes ongoing to come. And that doesn't mean it's necessarily this year, but even over the next several years or even decades, there are some changes significantly to the human experience, or to life on earth, we could say. And you not only have received a gift by already knowing and owning this, and by walking this path, whether you knew it had anything to do with this grander purpose or not, but you become a gift. You are the gift. So not only have you been given this wonderful gift, but you are a gift to humanity, because you get to become then, or act as such if you so choose, a guide, a leader, someone who can support others to walk on a similar path, to support people to develop either sustainable living skills, or perhaps it comes back to the garden earlier. Each of your walks are very unique. And again, pile 1 was very much you already know, so that was the message. So I don't know what this means for each and every one of you, but what I do know is that what you have becomes a gift that not only you have received, but then you give to others, or can give to others, and you will become more in demand as the earth changes continue. So know that who you are, what you do, the path that you're walking actually becomes a commodity. It becomes in demand, and it's something that is going to support others. Whatever it is that you are doing, it becomes something that is going to be of high service moving forward. So good work, pile 1. Good work. Thank you for watching. If this resonates, I encourage you to comment below. Also like and subscribe. And if this is something you want support with, if this is something you would like individual support with, I do both individual readings as well as offer coaching programs to support people to follow their path and to bring their readings to full fruition. So you can check that detail out below, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, so pile 2. Pile 2, this reading is on your role in the year 2020. So this reading I was sharing with pile 1, 2, this is big. This feels very powerful. It feels very necessary to share. It feels very important. So what you are here to do, your role in 2020 is to wake people up. You are here to awaken the sleeping dragon, or awaken the sleeping giant. You are here to do some of the dirty work, we could say. I mean, it's not really dirty, but some people might be a little scared about what the truth really is. You are here to awaken the masses. So that's your role in 2020, to put, you're wearing the mouthpiece, the microphone, the whatever, to make sure to get your message out, to share what you need to share, to support people to come into awareness or knowledge of things that perhaps have been happening underneath the radar. This might be different for each and every one of you. The way that you truth tell or truth speak or wake people up can look different from each and every person who's watching this. But I imagine when I say this, you might even chuckle to yourself, because you're like, oh yeah, that's totally me, right? So you are here to wake people up. You are here to awaken the masses, to be a support in terms of helping people get online. I don't mean virtually, but like their cells, their bodies, their minds, online. Awaken the third eye and become fully aware, sentient human beings. So not human beings who are asleep to some of the greater atrocities and injustices and tragedies that are happening right underneath our noses. You are showing people the big elephant in the room. You are saying we can no longer ignore this elephant in the room. It needs to be seen, it needs to be known, it needs to be heard, and thus now we can all get together and do what needs to be done to decide if we want the elephant to stay here. Does it get to stay here or does it not? You are here to awaken the masses. That's your role in 2020. So good for you, pile 2. That's powerful. So how have you been prepared for this? So actually, I very rarely do this. Some of you know that I do it on occasion. I'm going to do a clarifier card for you, and like I said, I very rarely shuffle on camera. But I wanted to pull a clarifier card for you so I could get more detail. I do try to make it as individual as possible. So that was a quick shuffle. Thank goodness. It usually is for me anyway, which I love. So how have you been prepared for this? You are used to having to step out of your comfort zone. So your life has obviously guided you here in such a way that it was perfect to help land you here in this space. And what I'm being told here and what the cards are showing me is that you are used to either stepping outside of your comfort zone or being pushed. I have a feeling for a lot of you it's being pushed, right? So God, Great Spirit, Cosmos, Universe, Higher Power, whatever you term that or know that to be as, it doesn't matter, whatever word we use, it's what it means to you. But life has made you maybe uncomfortable a lot of times. It's kind of made you either the oddball out or the one who has something different to say, or you're kind of outside of the custom, outside of the norm, outside of the standard culture. So you're kind of used to being on the outside and looking in as opposed to inside. So as a result of these experiences over the course of your life, you've become accustomed to having something different to say or sharing something unusual that maybe other people don't. You might see things that other people don't see. You might ask questions that other people don't ask. You might do research that other people aren't going to do. There's something here about you have sort of, again, always been that person on the outside looking in. And so you're used to being an outsider. You're used to having a different message or walking a different way or being an oddball. It doesn't mean that you identify with those terms. You don't have to. It's not relevant. The point here is that you've been prepared, either usually nudged or forced, just by your own being, by your own existence, forced out of your comfort zone. So 2020 maybe, hopefully, wasn't too much of a shock to you because you're used to things coming like the curveball, like out of left field, like what, where did this come from? You're kind of used to that, or at least being pushed. Like how I see it is like you're on the side of a stage and your friend sort of nudges you and pushes you out on center stage and you're sitting there and you're like, oh man, I gotta do this. Fine, I'll own it, right? So being forced to own your power and stand on your own 2 feet and do the thing and be the thing and whatever it is for you. So you've been prepared for this over the course of your life. Now what you're stepping into is, this is a part of your legacy. So part of your spiritual purpose, your spiritual mission, your soul mission, your life path, your life purpose is to do this work. Now there's something around 2020 here, and for a lot of you it might be the very beginning. I mean, you've always and again been prepared for this, and your beginning was your conception. However, 2020 feels like a big catalyst for you, or at least an amplifier for your soul's purpose. So you are stepping into your shoes, the shoes you were born to fill. This is again a part of your life purpose. You came here to be truth teller, truth speaker, to bring awareness and education to the masses, to wake people up. And it's interesting because we do hear sometimes these messages of, we aren't here to wake other people up. And yet this is the message that I'm hearing for you, Pile 2, is that you very much came here to wake people up from sleeping. And that's not only a huge part of your purpose, but also your gift, that somehow you do it in a way that perhaps doesn't feel like, I feel a lot of people have a comedic ability here. Some people are really funny. So like earlier we were talking about when you were like kind of pushed or nudged out on the stage, how I also felt in that was that you kind of like did a little jig or did something funny to kind of get people going. And so, while it made you uncomfortable, you kind of sort of squashed that by making everyone sort of have fun and laugh about it. So I think there is a gift here, maybe not for everyone, but at least a few of you, if not a good majority of you, is that you're able to do this in a way that doesn't offend people. You're able to do this in a way that simply, again, wakes people up without it sort of like stepping on their toes or making them feel bad or making them feel less than. So this is a gift of yours. You're able to wake people up, and you're able to do it through maybe comedic gifts and or other ways that are sort of indirect, subtle, sweet, not in ways that are like a blazing hot fire to their noses, right? You are able to bring this about in a way that's very natural and very organic for you. And it actually feels fun. Like you do this in a fun way. Now, not all of you may resonate with that, but a good portion of you will. And if you don't, that's the opportunity here, right? So if you don't, if you're not currently doing that and helping people wake up in ways that are organic or natural or fun, maybe find ways to do that. And it doesn't mean you have to be something that you're not or bring expression to something that you're not. It means come into your own fullest expression, and I guarantee you will find something within you that supports people to awaken, that is fun and doesn't have to be like boom in your face that just makes someone like turn away and run, okay? And sometimes that's our role. Sometimes our role and our purpose is to be like boom in your face, here's the big fat elephant in the room, sorry, and you kind of walk away, right? Mic drop, boom, and then you're done. That happens sometimes too, but I actually feel like there's an opportunity here. And the message that's being shared is you can do it differently in a way that will be more accepted, and people won't even know that they're being woken up. Like, hello, how awesome is that? So the advice here is that what's going to be happening here for you is sort of like bridging. It feels like you're like a bridge between the old and the new. You're a bridge between like sleeping and waking for people. And so again, you guide people. You're that conduit, that portal, that support system, that bridge to bring people from one state to another. And it feels like you carry both of these equally. It also feels like you're not too disconnected from your own humanity. You're not disconnected from your own shadows or faults or your own humanity, whatever. Like, you feel pretty comfortable being human and like playing the role of a human, and maybe, you know, you can get down at times and do the thing, and like you've had your fair share of fun, or you've been the life of the party or whatever. And you do a really good job of sort of balancing both your humanity, which can feel like it's sometimes asleep, like humanity itself is asleep, and your wokeness, whatever that it means or is for you. That could be your spirituality, whatever you decide to call that. I won't, you know, give you a bunch of names for it, but you balance that very well. And because you are so well balanced and because you are so grounded, again, people take you very seriously. They don't see you as some kind of guru who is trying to teach them something or prove something. They trust you. And because of that, you are able to bridge these worlds together and truly bring sort of this heaven on earth thing, but through a more neutral means that doesn't scare people away. You make it friendly, you make it fun, you make it smooth, you make it organic, and that's really awesome. So the final outcome is, you know, this feels more like a message around, you know, continuing the path. I don't know if some of you have been either disheartened or discouraged or held back or limited in some way in regards to your waking up humanity. Maybe it's been scary at times, or people have intimidated you, or online trolls have upset you, or you've become sensitive to certain kinds of feedback, and or you're just kind of done putting out a message that people don't want to hear. You know, there just feels like there's been maybe a retreat at times, or maybe even just unsure of your own footing, you know, unsure of where you stand, like in terms of like, you know what you want to say, but you don't know if you're always like willing to go out there and say it kind of thing. This is this push or this encouragement, this nudge. Again, this is your soul's purpose. It's very much your mission, and your role in 2020 is to defend to the end this, your path, what you are meant to share. This is very much what you are meant to do. Do not let other people sway you or tell you differently or tell you this is not a purpose or whatever. Like, this is very much what you were born and bred for, to go out there and to awaken the sleeping giant. All right. And that's what brings about the changes on earth that we would like to see. So thank you so much, Pile 2. If this resonated, I encourage you to comment below and like or subscribe, or all of the above. And if you feel like there's more work to do here, if you're curious for more, I do offer both personal readings as well as coaching programs to support you on this path and to bring this to fruition. So thank you, Pile 2. Okay, so Pile 3, your role in 2020. You are a catalyst. Okay, first of all, I want to say that this reading feels very big, it feels very significant, very powerful. So I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you're watching. So you feel like a catalyzer, you feel like a light under people's asses, like you are a mover and a shaker and a groundbreaker, and you just get things rumbling, you get things going, you bring life to things, you give life to things that need to be said, things that need to be heard, things that need to be done. This feels like Pile 1, but very still a different energy, because you're just lighting shit up, right? You're like lighting it ablaze, lighting the path ablaze, you know, making sure. It's like you will give voice to it if it needs a voice. You will give life to it if it needs life. Like, you are here to act as a catalyst in 2020 and to very much get people moving. And what that feels like for me, for Pile 3, is that a lot of people have either become complacent or maybe even in fear or something along those lines with everything that has happened on the world stage. And it's almost like your energy is like, like none of that. We don't need none of that right now. What we do need is you moving toward what it is you came here for. Like, do what you must do. And you are walking your talk, right? You are walking the walk. And because of that, whether directly or indirectly, people are being inspired and activated to do the same toward what it is they are supposed to do in their individual lives. So for you, it's like you are already always following the call, right? You are always following your own wisdom. If you feel guided towards something, you're the person who's going to do it. And so not only do you carry this energy, but it's almost like everyone right now, and I like how Pile 3 is even becoming collective a little bit in terms of it's kind of saying like everyone has a role to play right now, and everyone kind of has an idea as to what that's supposed to be, and a lot of people are still kind of sitting on it. And through you moving and through you shaking and being this catalyst, not only are you walking your walk, but you support other people to do the same. You are getting people moving on what they came here for and actually what they very much need to do. It's not just like a fanciful inspiration. Like, this feels like a necessity. Like, get it moving, get it done. The time is now. like no questions asked. So that's really cool, fun energy, pile 3. And let's see how you've been prepared for this. So this feels like one or two things. So this will be different. It's a collective reading, but you have been through either a series of difficulties the past several years. This could be recent, like a dark night of the soul, or a depression, or a like deep season of self-discovery. This could also be the course of your life. So some of you, it's going to be lifelong. Some of you, it's going to be recent, but that you kind of been through the thick of it. You kind of been walking through mud. You kind of been like the lotus, and you've been just like growing your roots, growing your roots, growing your roots. And you spent a lot of time doing this. Like again, whether it's been the course of your life, through a lot of like rich history, we could even say like a lot of depth and intensity. So whether that was like really difficult experiences and challenges, or otherwise, it's going to be different for each person. But you were growing your roots, and you were being prepared for this through those trials, through those tribulations, through those challenges. It was making you very powerful, very strong. It was making you a leader. It was very much making you a leader. So it sounds like the leaders are in the pile 3 here. You were built and you were bred so that you could do the work of 2020 and beyond, because your work might be like coming through this year in a bigger, stronger way. I don't think it's the beginning for you. I think a lot of you have already been sort of in a leadership energy or position before, but it feels like this is where things begin to kick off in a bigger way. And it's because now and for the rest of your life, you are meant to be a leader in some way that all kind of started or originated in the year 2020. And again, you've already been doing it, but this was the year it kind of is all kicked off in a very big way. It's like you were born when you were born, right? And maybe several years ago or even a decade ago, the leader in you was born. Well, in 2020, your legacy is born, okay? So that's what you're bringing through, and you were built, baby, okay? Like, you've been through some stuff to get you here, and whether it be recent or over the course of your life, know that those are purposeful, because it bred you, and it made you sort of like not only strong and powerful, but unmoved, and it made you really deeply connected to your soul and the voice of your own knowing, so that nothing could shake you. This is the kind of resolve, conviction, and strength that is needed to move through not only 2020 in a way that's healthy, such that you can actually not only get through it, but also thrive. But moving forward as changes continue, and all the ways that 2020 will have catalyzed a series of events that unfold into a much greater unfolding and happening, and all of those ways that are becoming a global transformation, you will be ready for them. You have been equipped, you have been prepared, you have been resourced, so that you can become the leader you were born to be for this era. Like, you are a king, you are a queen, it's all emperor kind of energy. Like, you are here to do this and be this, and you already feel it, you already know it to some degree, but know that if you weren't just like born this year, I mean, clearly you weren't born, but again, that knowing of yourself and your greater leadership, know that you are reborn, like at a much higher level. Boom, it's here. It's like not your finale, obviously, but it's like your next level, most certainly, your legacy level. Like, you came here to do this. You are a leader. Now, what the outcome, or what's sort of on its way, what you're stepping into in 2020, is really becoming sourced from your own wellspring of truth. Being sourced from your own soul, sourced from your own knowing, sourced from your own connection and relationship with God, Great Spirit, higher power, universe, cosmos, whatever word you like to use, it doesn't matter, it's your relationship. You become sort of this conduit, this portal from spirit to earth. And you are unmoved by these earthly things, these earthly dramas, these earthly tragedies even. You become sort of unshakable and dissuaded by all of that. You can stand on your own 2 feet, and you required all those trials and tribulations that you've been through in your life to find your footing and to gain this traction, so that you can fill these shoes and step, so not only fill these shoes, but stand on your own 2 feet through everything that's happening this year and to come. Because here's the thing, a lot of things have happened in 2020, a lot of things have happened before 2020, and a lot of things will happen after 2020. Not everyone is going to, first of all, unfortunately, not everyone's going to get out alive, and that's human life anyway. But a lot of people just get by through surviving, and that's it. Now, I do feel like a lot of people in Pile 3 kind of are like that survival energy, like I will do what I must, I am fierce and I will fight. So that's there. However, know as a leader and as a pioneer of what is to come, of this new chapter, of this new age, whatever, that you also, because of the strengths, because of everything that you've gained and grown into, you actually have the ability to thrive too. Okay, so you are, again, this is similar to Pile 1, but Pile 1 was a little bit different energy. You are ahead of the curve, so you will be able to, again, stand on your own 2 feet and support people through whatever changes are to come, you know, whether that's indirectly or directly, but you become so soul sourced that you feel very, very powerful. Again, it's like nothing can affect you unless you decide it does. Like you feel like in the world, but not of the world, right? Unmoved by all the changes and things that come and go on planet Earth. Just very powerful, very knowing, and very connected to your source. And it's very, very beautiful. Now, the advice here, though, is that there still are some residual fears that are underneath the surface. These could be subconscious, but I actually think many of you, or if not most of you, are already aware of these. There are some fears. So some of the energy that I'm getting is some of you might still have fears, and hello, we're human, so this feels kind of relevant, but that you have some fears for your own life. You have fears for your family, for your loved ones. Obviously, you would prefer that you all live, not just through 2020, but through a good portion of the next however many decades and generations. Like there's some fears for your own life, some fears for things that are to come, some fears for maybe natural disasters or economic changes and things like that. I am feeling some of those fears that are relevant for some, many or most of you. I feel like many of you, maybe not most. And so you'll want to work through these fears. Get comfortable with them, befriend them, try to find the gift in them if you can. Know that they are supporting you to ensure your life. But of course, if we are held back by fear, then they actually prevent us from living. So that's the irony, is the gift of fear is life. We're able to live because of fear. It ensures our survival, you know, through what it does to our bodies, giving us narrow focus, giving us strength, giving us the ability to act or to fight or to flee or whatever. However, it can also prevent us from truly living. Let your fear be a fuel and a fire for the work you came here to do. Let it fuel you, let it activate you. It is not meant to hold you back or to limit you or to make you small in any way. Your fears, let them activate you, befriend them through your allowing them to impassion you and give you motivation to move forward and to continue to face everything that needs to be faced. Like kind of you against the world, although it's not, you know, that's like the energy of it. Allow it to support you, and then that way they become sort of unnecessary or irrelevant. They in fact become a partner on your journey as opposed to an adversary. So that's the advice here for you. And what's really powerful is that what comes through as a result in your life of 2020 is a new experience. This could be one of two things. It could be a new perceptual experience. So you just see things differently, you perceive things differently, you're more empowered, you're more powerful, you are aware of your own power. And again, like I said, you can stand on your own 2 feet, like you are on top of the world or you against the world kind of thing. You have that energy. It could be a perceived difference in your reality such that you really have become all that you came here to be, okay? And you'll just continue to grow into that bigger and greater in bigger and greater ways. It could also be that your actual physical life changes form in a really big way. So some of you might be moving. I do feel like some of you will be moving as a result of this. I don't know if it will be now, but in the next 3 to 5 years, maybe 3 years feels more likely. So check back in 3 years and let me know. So some of you will be moving and literally changing the landscape of your life. New people will come into your life. For many of you, you'll have new communities you'll be working with. And whether that's virtually or in person, you'll be connecting with more conscious, socially minded, or like-hearted, like-minded people that are going to be a part of your life that are not now, or they become a greater part of your life, but you end up sort of locking arms with other people and becoming a leader of a new way, a new path. And so some of you, it'll be more of a perceptual change in your reality and your life experience. And for others of you, this will be an actual change in your physical life that goes to match all the work that you've done, everything that you've been prepared for, and your true leadership ability and your legacy that you were born to create on this planet. So bravo for you, Pile 3. Very powerful energy. If you resonate with this, please comment below and like and subscribe. And I am now offering personal readings as well as coaching programs. I've been coaching for many years. If you want support to walk this path and to continually embody the leader that you are and impart this legacy, I encourage you to reach out and to check out my details below so that you can do so. Thank you, Pile 3. I will see you next time.